Alright, Jon Ossoff has officially lost the special election in Georgia's 6th Congressional District. This was a special election being called to replace one Tom Price. Is it Tom Price? I literally just read the fucking name. Hang on. Tom Price. Yeah, Tom Price, who is now the Secretary of Health and Human Services. But anyway, he was running against. This was a very interesting race. And it was a race I had planned on doing a video about a few days ago, but things got kind of lost in the mix, so it procrastinated a bit. So this is what you get. So basically, he lost the election. I believe it was 47 to 52. So it didn't lose it by much, but it did lose. And here's something I feel it's significant to me about this particular election, is that this election is almost like basically the Democratic Party put a lot into this election. It is actually has the record for the most expensive House election in history. I believe the latest tally was something like around $50 million on both sides was spent, total for a seat in the House of Representatives, which is of course unsustainable considering there's like 300, 200 something, 300 and something, 400. There's a lot of people in the House of Representatives. Okay, so. And what I feel is that this is sort of a testament, in my opinion, to sort of the death of the DNC in the way it currently does things, or at least what should be seen as it. Because in this election, you had basically the perfect, or almost, it seems, DNC candidate. And what I mean by that is basically Hillary Clinton, but younger, less out of touch outwardly, and without the baggage. So, he was still still incredibly center/center-right. He'd come out against Medicare for All. No, we should shore up and fix Obamacare, but not repeal and replace it, or we definitely shouldn't put in place single payer. Policy light. I mean, you go on his website, not a damn bit of policy, nothing. Literally not a single policy, not a single bit of legislation that's like, okay, we need to do this. We need a $15 minimum wage. We need Medicare for all. We need an actual infrastructure investment plan. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just a bunch of flowery friggin' platitudes and empty bullshit. The same as the sort of the mainstream Democrats like to try to run on these days. And in addition to that, and not only that, but so he had all that going for him. He's like the quintessential mainstream Democratic candidate. Nice and polished, real centrist, trying to pick off the moderate Democrats in the suburbs. And on top of that, even, and granted, it's about standard issue Democrat candidate. On top of that, his opponent, Karen something Handel, I don't know. One actively supports the Trump Care, which, believe last I heard, had a national approval rating of 17%. This legislation has a 17% approval rating. She's all for it. She's recently been on TV in public, on TV, broadcast for all to see and to record and to upload to YouTube, that she does not support a livable wage. She does not support a livable wage. So in her mind, a person should work a 40-hour job, full-time, 40-hour a week job, and not necessarily be able to support themselves. I mean, seriously, in this day and age, in this current climate, like, doesn't support you being able to feed yourself. Doesn't support you being able to go to the doctor. I mean, an expired can of Spam should have been able to beat this bitch's ass. But no. When you run it again, when you run someone like that, a candidate like that up against your standard, your spit and polish, well-funded, center-right, Republican light Democrat, like corporatist kind of Democrat, they're still so fucking repulsive that they still lose. I mean, think about it. Some of the only things, the few things right now that have approval ratings in this country of in the neighborhood of Trump is Hillary Clinton and the DNC. So they put someone who's just like their image, or it's almost like the candidate they created in a lab, the perfect establishment candidate, couldn't win. Interestingly enough, that candidate Ossoff, Jon Ossoff, whatever, who could not manage to eke out a win, which with let's say half of that money, let's say $25 million, half of the 50 that was spent total. Let's just say $25 million. With $25 million, with so many ads running in that district, that the news network was actually shortening their news broadcast so to make more room for political ads. With everything, with the whole machine behind them, could not pull out a better election result than the 2 or 3 various more farther left or Bernie-crat type candidates who also ran in Republican districts in special elections, who also barely lost, but unlike Ossoff, were just fucking ignored by the DNC. They didn't get, we don't care, like Freedom, what's his name, I'll put the name in the description. But there's a guy that was running for a seat in Montana. The Giafonte thing. That douchebag that like decked a journalist for asking a question. The guy who was running against him barely lost. It was like about similar, like 5 or 6 points. Before that, like the last time a Democrat ran against the sitting Republican for that seat, they got crushed. This guy Quist, Rob Quist, I believe is his name, but he lost by a fairly slim margin, about the same as Ossoff, and the DNC just fucking ignored him. But he ran on actual policy. He ran on a better minimum wage, on Medicare for all, on ending this friggin' epidemic of of debt, of people going bankrupt because they got sick. And he ran in a red area, I believe. He ran in it was a district that was vacated by a Republican. With very little money, pretty much no help from the DNC, and came about as close as Ossoff did with several $1 million and like the freaking DNC dream team behind him. So, maybe we're actually getting to a point where money's just not going to cut it. You can't just pour money into a race and say, okay, you're going to win. They had all the money they could have wanted. They put up a spit and polish perfect candidate, what they feel is perfect candidate, still lost. So, I don't know. Going forward, I hope maybe. I mean, honestly, if Hillary Clinton's loss didn't jar them enough to make them rethink their positions, I doubt this will. But maybe since this didn't have the baggage associated with it that Hillary's campaign did and her candidacy did, maybe they'll start to see, like, okay, now we've lost again using these tactics that should have won it. Maybe we need to rethink things. I hope, because honestly, we are in June, so we have slightly less than a year and a half till the midterms, and the clock's ticking. DNC needs to get their shit together right the fuck now. That's all I have for this video. Give me a like, or dislike, whatever. Subscribe. Comment. Let me know what you think about this special election, the results, what it kind of says for this whole thing, this whole shit show that we're in going forward. And I'll see you next time.